Вы говорили, что звук должен приходить, он не приходит за гордостью или зачем? По какой причине? Потому что ты слушаешь, а звук не приходит.
So the question is that we are hearing that.
Stop.
The question is that the sound vibration has to go through the heart.
Yeah.
Has to penetrate those coverings. But if it's not penetrating, is it because of pride?
If it's not penetrating what?
If it's not actually going to the heart, is it because I'm proud? What is the reason? Why?
You have to have submissive aural reception. Submissive aural reception means no pride, no arrogance. My Gurudev used to say, as long as you think that you know better, and what is this person possibly going to say that I don't already know, that's pride. It's arrogance. And because of that, you cannot surrender. You cannot be submissive. It will not enter inside of you. This is submissive aural reception. We are submissive. Barry's very submissive. He surrendered to his stupid mind. Right, Barry? He's very submissive. He's like a little, a little deer, little doe. Right? Whatever my mind says, I have to listen to it. Right? So we're being very submissive to the wrong person, to the wrong thing. We become Go Das instead of Guru Das or Krishna Das. We become servants and slaves to our stupid minds. So instead of hearing the Katha, Hari Katha, Krishna Katha, we're listening to our stupid minds. So Gurudev used to say, although so many of you are sitting here, apparently listening, how many of them, Gurudev used to say, you take some statistics, how many of them are actually, is this Katha actually entering into the ear and into their heart? How many? And Gurudev went like this. Very few. Why? Because your mind is stolen by illusion. You're listening to your stupid, foolish, rascal mind. You're listening to it, you're depending on it. So you're not listening to Guru and Krishna. You don't have faith in Guru and Krishna. You have faith and you're relying on your own stupid, foolish, rascal mind. So you're surrendered, you're submissive, you're hearing your mind. Not the instructions of Guru Sadhana Shastra, not the instructions of Krishna. So you're Godas. You're not Krishna Das, you're not Guru Das. This is a problem. So we have to decide, who am I going to listen to? Who is my authority? Who can best help me and guide me and give me right information? How can I be most benefited? That first thing we have to decide. Who is my master? Who is my ultimate authority? Who am I the servant of? Who will I agree to be the servant of? Everybody's serving. But who will we serve? That first thing we have to understand. We're relying and putting too much trust and dependence on the stupid mind. I remember sometimes when Gurudev would talk about the mind, he would just start saying, "You stupid rascal." He would just be like slamming. You're listening to it, you're depending upon it, you're getting cheated and jaded. Like that. And that's a fact. We're getting cheated. Right? Isn't it? Because you listen to your stupid mind. And you commit aparadhs because of it. So you think you're more intelligent than Guru and Krishna. You think your mind is more intelligent than the instruction of Guru and Krishna. That's the problem. So as long as we're thinking like that, we cannot be submissive. We cannot submissively surrender and hear. The only thing you're hearing is your own mind. That's it. So you'll be misdirected for sure. Guaranteed. You'll be twisted around, wrapped up tight, and you'll be looking for the exit sign. Looking for the neon exit sign. Get me out of here. Right, Barry? But then he keeps saying, well, where am I going to go? Huh? Where else am I going to go? I'm left with this stupid mind. At least I get some guy who's trying to chop away at it. At least I get a chance here, you know. I go anywhere else, they'll just flatter me and say, oh, you do such nice sadhana. Oh, you go to all the programs. Oh, you're so nice. Oh. Then you can be a legend in your own mind. Then you can get some sadhu shoes. Right? You can walk around in those wooden shoes and put a nice expensive chadar around you. Right? I'm sadhu. I'm guru. So you want to be cheated. So we're getting cheated. So first thing is, who am I the servant of? we're saying I'm Gurudev's servant. I'm Krishna's servant. But really, who are we serving? My mother, my father, my wife, my husband, my children, right? My mind. So we're being cheated. So we have to really pray, please humble me, please purify me, please let me submissively be able to hear, nicely to be able to hear. Pride, arrogance, these things, all demoniac qualities. I remember one time Gurudev said to one devotee, he was very thick. Of course we're all thick, you know. But he's very thick. And then he said, you see, you are like an ass. A gadha. You're like an ass. Just simply carrying heavy, heavy loads. Just working like an ass. Working heavy, heavy loads. And then, one day, by chance, somebody puts a whole load of sandalwood on your back. So heavy. So you're working hard. You're carrying the sandalwood. And then just by chance, that sandalwood smell comes from behind. And then just goes up your nostril. Then you get what is that? What is that? So Gurudev says, okay, you cannot hear. Just let it hit your ears. It's like, I always think of it like this, like Gurudev has a jackhammer, you know? You know how they're working on the roads, they're trying to like go through the roads? You know what it is, these hammers, you know? So it's kind of like that. We're like, you know, we're just like, you know, cement roads, you know? And then Gurudev, with his katha every day, he's just like, he's just trying to like, you know, he's trying to like chop through it all, you know what I mean? And hoping one day like it pops a hole through there, you know? And then it seeps in, you know? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, what is that? That's something completely different. That's amazing. What is that? You see? So then you just get one little smell of the sandalwood. Not cocaine, sandalwood. Okay? Bar, you know what I'm saying? Huh? Sandalwood. Incense. Good thing, pure thing. Right? Then we go, oh, what is that? So like that. So Gurudev says, okay, you can't hear, you're thick, you're like an ass. But somehow or other, let it hit your ear. So at least if you're showing up every day and you're begging to go Nitai, please let this somehow penetrate this thick skull of mine, this stone-like heart of mine, this crooked heart of mine. Let it penetrate, this envious heart of mine, let it penetrate it and let it purify me. Because that's the only hope I have. It's the only chance I have. Then someday, by mercy of Nitai Gauranga and mercy of Sadhu Guru, after a lot of praying and a lot of purification, someday will come and everything will change. Everything will change. If you're just patient enough to keep coming and praying like anything. Because the jackhammer has to keep working. Like steel. It's not even like tar. Wait for the sun, it gets soft. It's not even like that. It's like steel. Right? We need like, we need some carbine, drills to cut through it. It's so heavy. It's so thick. You understand? So we're lost inside there with our minds, which are so loud. Right? And then somehow we're looking out these little eyeballs and we say, okay, there's this man sitting there and his mouth just keeps going like this and he's saying something. He's saying something. Right? Because the mind is just false ego. Right? And then slowly, it's just chopping, purifying. And then you get purified. I remember for months and months when I came to Gurudev, I just suffered. And he's saying, this is so sweet. I was like, what is he talking about? This is so sweet. So much nectar, sweet. I was in a burning cauldron. In a burning cauldron. So sweet. And the more he said it was sweet, the more painful it was. Because I realized I'm such a rascal. I must have done so much sinful activity, I cannot appreciate it all. But anyway, this is the only hope I have. Maybe this Vaishnava will shower some mercy on me and purify me, chastise me, punish me, somehow, some way. And I remember after 7 months of that, then one day, I tell devotees all the time, I was sitting, I'll never forget it. I was taking prasadam with this devotee, and all of a sudden, I realized for the first time in my life that all of my anxiety had left me. I was completely peaceful, and all anxiety, all fear, all disturbance, everything had gone. And it was like the first time I recognized that. And I said to this devotee, I said, I can honestly tell you, this is the most peaceful and happy I have ever been in my whole life. And I feel like my life is so auspicious now. This life and also my future life. Everything is auspicious now. And that will finally come after hearing, long times of hearing. We need a lot of medicine first. And then that time will come. And then when that comes, it's undeniable how it will hit you. And then everything that comes is pure nectar. Pure nectar. Endless nectar. You can sit for hours, just food for your soul. It's just going directly to your soul. Food for your soul. Not the stupid mind. The mind is like this huge parasite. Right? Do you ever have a parasite? When you eat, you get some parasite in your system. And you're eating, right? But the parasite eats it. It never actually gets to the body. Right? Just the parasite's eating it and it's becoming larger and larger and larger. Right? So the mind is like that. This is meant to be for the soul. But the mind is just gobbling it up and chewing it up like a parasite. You see? So it's not reaching its intended target. Because the mind is such a rascal, it's so loud, too strong, too powerful. We've created a monster within our minds because we've fed it for so long and we've listened to it and we've served it for so long. We've created a monster. So what do you do when you have such a monster, such a parasite? What do you do, Bob? You starve it. Right? You starve it. You stop feeding it. And then it will die. You see? It's like, the other example is like all these ferocious animals are there in the water, right? The sharks and the alligators and the whales and all these big ferocious animals are there. So you listen to Sadhu Guru, and what he does is like, he just sucks out all the water. Before you couldn't see any of these things. Now all the water's gone and there's all these animals there. Then you just kill them. You see? Before we couldn't see anything. We hear from Sadhu Guru, Om Jnana Tamarandasha Gananjana Shalakaya. My eyes will open up. Then you can see everything nicely, clearly. Then you understand what you have to do. So keep praying to be able to hear and to give up your pride and arrogance. Okay? Personally, I am nobody. Okay? Gopal, move away from the camera. But I had a wonderful, very, very elevated spiritual master. And he asked me, first he asked me to try to hear from him. And he chastised me. He did so many things. One time he said to me, one time he gave such amazing class, he's speaking so many things I never heard before. And I was sitting there like, I was trying to figure it all out. Right? I never saw that in Shastra. I never heard Prabhupada say that. Or, I was just totally trying to figure it out. And then when Gurudev came down from the class, he saw me there. I always say, I felt like I had smoke coming out of my ears. Right? My little engine was working way too much overtime, trying to figure it out. And Gurudev started laughing at me. And he said, Murali Krishna, don't try to figure this out. Just accept it. Don't try to. You cannot figure this out. Just accept it. In other words, be submissive. Just trust it. Alright? Trust Guru and Krishna. They'll not cheat you. Okay? My Gurudev is not a cheater. Alright? And it's not his intention to create a cheater. He gave me these instructions to do what I'm doing. And he asked me, you go and you speak boldly and fearlessly exactly what I taught you. So I'm trying my best to do that. And compared to Gurudev, it's a joke. It's not even you can't even compare it. But if I try my best to follow his instructions, and I try to remember what he taught us, and I try my best to share that with you for the right reason, with the right motivation, then I am absolutely convinced that we are being benefited and will always be benefited. And how Guru and Krishna want to help us inside or outside or who they want to send, I don't know. But I'm going to just keep going doing what I'm doing until I hear something different than that. How's that sound? Alright? At least Srila Govinda Swami Srila Gurudeva Ki! At least we'll be guaranteed to hear repeatedly what our Gurudev taught us. Now when someone else can come and speak what my Gurudev spoke, the way he spoke it, then I'll listen to them. Otherwise, I'll not listen to anybody else. All right? Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki, Gantaraj Chaitanya Charitamrita ki, O Premanande. Shri